Hey guys, it's Maymay and welcome back to part 3 of our paper bag mini album. Now if you'd like to see the other 2 parts of this album where I assemble it and do a little bit of the decoration, I'll have those parts linked below for you. So I'd watch those before you get started on this one too much. But today we're hopefully going to finish this guy. Either finish him or get really close. I think finish him. Now I have been looking at how I want to do the closure on here. And I want to do something very different, but I think it will work. So you're going to have to bear with me, and there might be a lot of steps, but we'll get it all done and I'll show you how it's going to work. All right. We're going to utilize the back of this as well as the flap. What I want to do is create a closure that is tied with a bow and where the ribbon comes underneath the flap on both ends and comes up here through 2 holes. Now that's going to sound crazy, but the reason I want to do that is because this album is going to need some room to grow. And if I do it that way, we'll be able to expand this and move our bow back wherever we need it to be for this guy to grow. So let's get started doing that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some cute paper in here and some cute paper here and glue it down because I want to go ahead and decorate that before I poke any holes here, okay? Here I've cut some strips I'm going to use, and I want to show you this. I think this little line of presents is really cute, and I want to use it on the front of the bag. It also ties the plaid in together, so I'm going to cut this strip of presents out and use it on the front as well, and then probably a solid sheet as well. I just wanted to show you that's where the stripe is coming from. I love these sheets for this kind of stuff because you can get just what you need to use on the cover. So now I have all these little strips cut, and these 3 are going to go on the front. We'll do that in a few minutes, but this one is going to go right back here, and it's really just going to be to have something pretty in here, you know, so when you open it you can see it. And it's also going to be where I do my hole punching in this area. Now since I corner rounded this guy, I'm going to put this strip right to where the corner round ends. So it's probably hard for you to see. There we go. You can kind of see it like that. So that's going to get glued straight down. This is really just for reinforcement to make it good and sturdy. And I'm using wet glue because I think that'll help reinforce everything. And I used a pretty good bit, so it's probably going to seep out a little bit. And I'll have to kind of just clean it up. Now, I had a different plan in mind for the closure, but I've been seeing you guys on Facebook making yours where you've been sharing the photos of the ones you've started. And I didn't want to mess up what you've already put here, so I've changed my cover closure for that reason, because I want you to be able to keep all your pretty decorations over here, because if I did a belly band, it would have kind of messed it up. So that's why we're doing a little different closure. I'm going to let this dry really well. So I've got the inside glued in and dried, and now I'm going to do the outside, but I'm just going to flip this guy over so I can work like this. And I am layering 3 pieces. I think this will be cute. And I'm going to do it just like I did the underneath and just glue these 3 pieces down. So there's one. I'm going to glue another one on top of that. And this is all for reinforcement for the holes I'm going to be poking in just a minute. The reason for this is I cannot find my eyelets. I had some eyelets and I wanted to use them here and can't find them. So I thought, you know what? Other people probably don't have any either. And in the vein of using what you got, I'm just going to reinforce it with this paper and this glue to make those holes be really sturdy. Now one more strip, and this is the cute one with the little gifts on it. And you can see here that I cut them slightly different than the one before, just a little bit smaller to kind of make them like mats like we do on card fronts, kind of like that. So now when I flip it over, there's the inside piece we did, and then our outside piece is all decorated. I like that. I think that looks really good. Now we can put the 2 holes here. So what I'm doing right now, this is my Tim Holtz ruler. It has that 0 in the middle to help you center to either side. So I've put the 0 here, and I've matched the measurement to each side the same. I need to move that a little bit. And so here I've got a little over 2.5, and over here I'm a little over 2.5, so I know this is the center. Now I don't want these in the center, I want them to either side. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a mark 3/4 inch away from the center here, just so I can see it. I'm going to poke a hole for this, and then 3/4 of an inch away from there. So that's where my 2 holes are going to live, and you can measure any old way you want if you do your closure like this one. Now then, all I have to do is take my hole punch, go over that mark I made. I'm using the bigger of the holes on the crocodile. That was thick. That's good. That means it'll be nice and sturdy. I'm going to do this guy. Also thick, nice and sturdy for when we start using this for our ribbon. So you can see here, 2 holes, and they're pretty centered. I really like how that looks. Now, how are we going to do it? Here's how we're going to do. So I've plugged up the old glue gun, and it's heating now. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hot glue a ribbon right along this edge that will wrap around and go underneath here and tie in a bow to keep this guy closed. So here's my plan. I'm just going to run a piece of ribbon and hot glue it here. And this is the ribbon I plan to use. I think it's really pretty. Now it's a little bulky on this end, but because I use the bigger hole for the crocodile, I'll still be able to feed that through no problem. If you are giving this as a gift, think about that with the person you're giving it to. Think about their hand dexterity and make sure they'll be able to kind of feed the ribbon back through the holes. You might want to use a thinner ribbon for this in that case. Now, I've given myself plenty of ribbon to tie a bow with. You know, I'm always that person that tries to give more, because that way, if you're doing it, you have plenty to tie with, and if someone else is, they'll have plenty to tie with. So I'm going to run hot glue right here to hold this ribbon. Do a strip down here. Again, I'm never shy with my adhesive on these guys because I want this to stay for a good long time. Then I'm just going to sit that ribbon into that hot glue. I always look for a simple way to close albums. I just think simple keeps me from not making albums, because if it gets too hard and I get too stressed out, I won't do it. Now you can see the ribbon is glued to the back, and when I flip this guy over, now those ribbons kind of lay open like that. Can you see? Yeah. Okay. Now then, to close this album, I'll take one portion of the ribbon and I'm going to feed it through this hole we created, just like so. And that's going to pull this down. See that? Then I'm going to feed the other one through. And if you have eyelets, I would definitely use a little eyelet here, because as this gets used over time, this could become worn out. So if you have some eyelets, put them in there. You can always add eyelets after the fact too, so I can go back and do that. This is my ribbon. I'm going to tie a bow, and this will be what keeps my album closed. And this way, anybody can just open it and look at it and tie the little bow back. It'll be super cute. One thing I do suggest is using a double-sided ribbon for this, because tying a single-sided bow kind of takes some practice, and this way anybody who opens your album can tie it back and you'll have a cute bow because it looks good on both sides of the ribbon. Okay, let's trim this. This is Gracious Plenty ribbon. So I'm trimming, and then we're going to do something you guys, I don't think have ever seen me use on my channel, because I haven't used it in years, but I really wanted to use this ribbon and it frays really bad. So I'm bringing out my fray check. I bought a new bottle because I've not used it in forever. I used to use it all the time. I'm going to use some fray check. Now there's other ways to do this. There are lots of kind of hacky ways. You could use clear nail polish. I've even run regular glue around the end of some ribbon and let it just dry, and that has worked. You could run a bead of hot glue here, whatever, but I like fray check because it dries a little movable, which will make it easy to feed that ribbon in every time we open the book. All right, so there is that part, and this needs to dry. So I'm going to let that fray check dry, and then we'll come back and start putting more pretties. So now it's time to do some pretties, and I'm going to show you something, because if you're making these for Christmas gifts and you want to do them quick and easy, this is your answer. Check out these cute little things. I bought these on a trip to Tennessee a while back at a craft store, but they sell these guys at our Michaels and our Hobby Lobbies and online. You can find these all over the place, and most people tell me, I buy them, but I don't know what to do with them. Well, today we're going to use them. I think these are super fun and will make this album so cute, and you'll be able to push these out for Christmas presents so quick and easy using this kind of stuff. The other thing I love about these guys is they come on a clear plastic sheet. So if you want to lay it somewhere and see what anything will look like and make sure it will fit, you can just do it just like that. And I love that about these guys. This Christmas tree is probably my favorite, and I really want it on the front of this album somewhere in this area. But what I'm going to do, it has the sticky on there already, but I don't really trust it for the front of the album. So I'm going to add hot glue to those sticky pads, because I know I can trust my hot glue to stay. And then this guy is going to go down in this little corner. I love him. And he's on little lifted up foam pads and all that dimension. And I just got that cute little embellishment on the front of my album with no work. as a little bit of hindsight on my part, I kind of think I would have liked to have put some paper down underneath that. I'm not going to stress. I'm going to do it now. I'm just going to cut this and slide it underneath there and glue this down. I just think this will be cute, and I'm going to trim it so I can put a piece on this side and on this side. I'm just going to use my art glitter glue for this because it doesn't have to have that extra hot glue. This will stay on paper. I'm going to slide it under that tree and then just slide it into position with the glue. You can always do this beforehand, which you probably should. I just wasn't thinking. And this is kind of how I do my mini albums. Just play, decorate, put things where you want them, make it look like you want it to look. And I just think that's cute, and it kind of breaks up the solid plaidness there. Then I have another piece that's going to go right here. I just need to trim it down. So now it looks like I had that stripe going under the tree, even though I didn't. Now I also like these little words, season's greeting and joy to the world. I think I'm going to put joy to the world here, but I also want to be able to see it good on this plaid. So I want to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take it off of here, and I'm going to use a 2-inch scallop circle punch and just punch out a little scallop circle, just like that. I'm going to kind of doctor this guy up a little bit. Again with the hot glue, because I want this to stay really well for a long time. And I'm just going to glue this down to this scallop circle just to give it a little something extra in the background and really help this to pop off the page. And you know me, I can never leave well enough alone, so I'm going to stitch this little circle just for a little added embellishment. Just using my my black Uniball pen. And now I'm going to put this on, but I want to bring my closure in so I can see exactly where to put it. So I'm thinking about like that. That will be cute. I kind of think I might want another stripe at the top now that I look at it. Let's play and see. So all these little pieces are from this paper pack, and I cut these little strips down. Look how cute that one is. And let's see what else we've got here. Yep, I like how this looks. I'm going to trim this down to fit. I'm going to put it underneath there as well. I think that will be super cute. So I'm just making myself a little mark to let me know where I need to trim it. I'm not even using my trimmer at this point. And then I'm going to use art glitter glue and glue that down. You guys always ask to see the decorating process, and this is just kind of how I do it. It's very simple, and sometimes I feel like I'm apologizing for how simple I do things, but you know what? Sometimes you need simple crafts for the season that you can, you know, make projects and give as gifts, or maybe you don't want to take on a big what I call very detailed and time-consuming mini album. Maybe you want something that you can just play with and let be your first album. This would be a great way to do your first mini album. So now the front is pretty decorated, and I think that is super cute, and I can always come back and add more. That looks like a doily. That's really cute like that. I like it. All right, now to the inside. I sound like I'm saying now to the bat cave. Okay, so again, I'm going to utilize these little pieces, which are so cute. Well, that fit right there. That fits really well right there. I want to see if there's any other place I might like to showcase it before I put it down. I really like that right there. Again, you see why I love that these are on this kind of acetate sheet? I think that is super cool. Now, this time I'm going to do something different. I'm inside the album, and I don't want as much dimension as this will add. So I'm just going to doctor this guy by peeling off this foam circle off the back, being careful not to rip the actual piece. And I don't care what it looks like on the back because I'm going to get rid of, that's not going to show, it's going to be glued down. But this way I won't have quite so much dimension in the album. So now I can just put the glue straight onto the back, and I'm just going to use art glitter glue. You could use your hot glue here too. I just think on the front it definitely needed the hot glue for some extra support. And this guy's going to go right here. Now he still has some dimension because this piece is dimensional. But this way, he's not standing up so high off the page. Isn't that so quick and easy? It's just amazing how fast we just did that. I love it. All right, so I'm going to open the rest of them and just kind of have a run through and play around. So I want to show you something. This little Santa guy, he is super cute, but he came double layered. So look, when I peel him off, I get foam tape here and just a regular Santa there. So I'm going to do that and save that one. But this one with the glitter is going to go into the album. Again, I'm going to take that foam tape off because I don't need it inside the album. And I'm going to glue him straight down to that page. And then in the other pack, I found this one that says We Heart Santa, and that has to go right there, right? I think so. All right, so I took all the foam off of it as well so it wouldn't be dimensional. and it's going to go right here. This is such an easy cheat to make these albums look so good so fast. And it also gives me an excuse to be able to shop on that aisle with all those cute little stickers because I think they work so well in these mini albums. Next page. Now I've gone through and stuck a whole lot of those down, and we'll do a tour of that in just a second. But I also went into one of my paper packs and found these cute little journaling tags. I thought these would be super cute to add to some of these bigger spaces. So this way the recipient can write some cute stuff here. Probably using a white pen on this one, but how cute would that be? So I'm going to glue this directly in, and then there'll be a spot for journaling. Now also inside those inside our bags where we have our slide outs, you can also do journaling on those. That would be a great spot to do bigger journaling. So now when the person puts pictures here, they could write something about those pictures, and that would be super cute. Now I have one more. I want to see where I want to put it. Right here. I was looking for plain spots, and this is a good one. See how cute that's going to be right there? Love it. Now I've decided to do something a little bit different to my tags. Because I don't really need a pull tab for them because they're easy to get to, I'm going to run this baker's twine through it, and I'm going to just tie a bow at the top of each tag. To keep my baker's twine from unraveling over time, I'm just tying a knot in the end of the baker's twine, and then it may unravel, but it'll only go to that knot. So as this book is opened and closed, it really won't affect anything there. And you see, we have a little bow tied. Super cute. Now I'm going to do that to all three of them. Now I've decided to try and add one other thing. I'm going to open the first page and lay 3 ribbons in. These are kind of thin ribbons that I have in my stash. I'm going to lay them in the bend of that page and then close the page back on it. And then here I want to make not a bow because I have a bow that lives right here. I'm going to make a knot for me to hang some charms off of. I think this will be super cute. And the charms I'm going to use come from my friend Gareth's store, and I will link him below. He has got some really cute charms, and I think they'll be cute hanging right here off of this. And I'm just going to tie my knot kind of close to the top so that they'll have plenty of room to hang. And you don't have to use ribbon for this. You could use like a thread or a twine or anything you have like that for this kind of part. This would be super cute if it was even done with like leather cord. That would be cute too. But just use what you got. That's what I say. Now I want to show you what I'm doing with the charms. I'm taking this ribbon and I'm cutting it really, really thin to a point. To a really sharp point. Okay, so basically I'm creating a needle. And the charms I'm using, they are adorable. This one is a Santa head. Let me show you what he looks like. Get him in the camera. Look how cute that is. I'm going to put this little charm on this ribbon. And then I'm going to slide it up. And I'm putting them at different lengths. Like, let me show you. Here's the snowman. I know my hand's in the way. I'll move in a second. There's the snowman. I think we'll put this Santa a little bit higher than the snowman. And here's how I'm going to make them stay. I've got my little charm run up on the ribbon, and I'm going to just tie a knot where I want it to stay. So there's one. And I do a double so that I know it's plenty big enough to hold my little Santa charm. And you just make sure you tie it right to where your other one is. Pull it snug. Then I can trim this off under the knot. And now I can move my Santa down to the knot, and so my charm is there and it's not going to come off. And I'll show you this a little better when I get them all tied on. So there's 2 done. I'm going to move those out of the way, and I'm going to go to the next one. Same thing, sharp needle point with the ribbon. Look how cute this one is, a candy cane. I love it. Run this ribbon through the candy cane at the top. I'm going to let it be a little longer this time because I did those other ones pretty short. Tie a couple of knots right here at the end of where the candy cane is, where I want it to stop. The knots are just basically creating a stop for the charm so it won't come off the ribbon, and we're not having to tie it actually on. So there's my stopper knot, and then trim this away. Grab that candy cane and pull it down so now that charm will live kind of low. All right, I'm going to do 3 more on this side. I think they're super cute. So now you can see all those little charms hanging off. They are so cute. I ended up doing a candy cane, a snowman, a Santa, a snowflake, another candy cane, and a stocking. And this little stocking is red. Isn't that cute? I just love it. You'll probably will see that better in pictures because it's kind of hard to show you here. Now let's do a walkthrough. You've seen how the closure works. So it would be tied in a bow right here. You'll see that in pictures. The thumbnail will have that, I'm sure. So here's the opening part. I love the charms. They're so cute. Okay, so here's the front. We open it up, and our first page, Let me get it where you can see really good. And listen, so easy because I let all these little pieces do the work for me. So here is a little gift package here. Merry Christmas. That's that journaling spot. And then we have our tag tucked in. Don't forget our inserts are in there as well. And then there's a little wreath, Santa, We Heart Santa. There's our tag. Look, I just used those little sticky pieces and it just really dresses things up. Don't forget you got an insert there too for photos. And then another tag, another Santa with a gift. I thought those were cute. And then All I Want for Christmas. How cute is that? I love it. And then again, another one of our tags, our insert tags. And then look at this, a journaling spot, 2 photo spots. Too cute. Now, I don't typically put any decorations on the back of my album because that's where it's going to sit typically. So I just leave the back kind of blank. But that is it. Let me close it up with the bow and we will see what it looks like all together. I hope you don't think this is too simple. Like, I am a simple crafter. I tend to do things very simply because usually I'm in a hurry trying to get things done. Especially if I'm making something like this as a holiday gift, you definitely don't want to spend, you know, a month and a half or 2 working on your album. You could do this album in a weekend the way we did it here. So there it is, our little paper bag mini album. So fun to do. Honestly, guys, this one is quick and easy and you could push this out in no time. I hope you enjoyed this little 3-part series for a paper bag mini album. I had a lot of fun doing it. And look, you can see it got thicker, but it's not really that bad. And this closure is really going to allow us to have some growing room. So that's why you want to make sure you don't cut your ribbon too short. Make sure you have plenty, even if it's hanging off of the tails, you have plenty to be able to tie this and adjust the width of your album. But I like that closure. I like how that does. And I just love how this turned out. Thanks so much for watching and being a part of this. And if you created one of these albums, and I know a lot of you guys did, head over to our Facebook group, which is called Maymay Made It, and so did I, and share with us what you did in your album. We love the inspiration. It sure does help us all get in our craft rooms and get to crafting. Thanks so much for watching today, guys. Talk to you again real soon. Bye-bye.